Hi guys, welcome to this guide for making approximately 4 Geons per hour from level 65. Thank you for trusting me with your time. I have put several days into verifying the element prices by compiling all of the player street vendors' prices. Each time I went into the city of Priest, I checked 3 to 5 shops, excluding ridiculous outliers such as those asking disproportionately high prices. I then averaged the remaining values. I have then farmed imperfect elements to check the approximate drop rate and how many you can obtain per hour without a picking pet. My lures weren't amazing, and I hadn't learned any patterns. I'm confident you could achieve better numbers with optimized techniques, further elevating the Geons per hour. In this video, I will farm 25 imperfect elements of iron in 22 minutes. To calculate our total per hour, divide 25 by 22 to get the imperfect elements per minute, then multiply by 60 to project the hourly total. This gives us 68.18 imperfect elements per hour, or 3.41 perfect elements. Considering the 65 to 80 bracket starts to need a lot of Geons seemingly out of nowhere, this guide is effective for players from level 65 up to level 80, beyond which its efficiency starts to taper off. Future guides will cover farming strategies and methods for levels beyond 80. This is a consistent way to obtain them, because you will know the money is coming for your time spent. This guide can be considered a beginner moneymaker as well, particularly for newer players or those returning to the game. It's accessible even if you're not heavily geared, and level 65 is achievable within 1 to 2 days if you're focused. For experienced players, it provides a steady source of income while scaling well with improved gear and techniques. So I'm sure you've guessed by now, but this guide is going to focus on killing the elementals in the Forest of Elements. Earth and Iron are the key players here, with Earth equating to approximately 3,750,000 Geons per hour, and Iron 3,920,000. The others were quite far behind, Wood at 850k, Water 511k, and Fire at 1,100,000 per hour. Elementals can be found here. The Forest of Elements is a key farming location. The mobs are spread throughout the area, and the terrain is generally easy to navigate. Specific spawn points for elementals are as follows. Earth elementals are commonly found in the eastern section of the forest. Iron elementals populate the central areas, and fire, water, and wood elementals appear sporadically toward the outer edges. Refer to the map displayed in the video for precise locations. Focus on clusters of earth and iron elementals for maximum efficiency. Use your map frequently to ensure you're covering as many spawn points as possible. The Forest of Elements is a key farming location. The mobs are spread throughout the area, and the terrain is generally easy to navigate. Focus on clusters of earth and iron elementals for maximum efficiency. Use your map frequently to ensure you're covering as many spawn points as possible. How are we getting these figures? Well, we'll start by saying that these elements are required for the level 70 job change quest. You require 10 of each to complete the government job transition and unlock the next set of more powerful skills, so every single KL player will require them. Considering the rate in which they're dropping, not everyone is going to want to farm that. We also have a disproportionately large amount of credit card warriors on KAL that level alt accounts to buff their mains, very rich mains that have played and invested real money for years. Digressing, there is an NPC in the city of Priest named Waun, the element collecting official, located not far from the teleport. If you speak with him, you have the option to turn in your imperfect elements, which is really just putting them in his inventory. You can then pay him to change 20 of any you have given him into one perfect element for 200k Geons. These imperfect elements stay in his inventory for future exchanges, so you can turn them in gradually as you farm. I have already subtracted this cost from our total figures. To clarify further, the pricing differences between elements are based on demand, particularly due to the level 70 job change requirements and market behavior driven by players opting to buy rather than farm. Excessive undercutting when selling these elements can damage the market, lowering overall profits for all sellers, including yourself. To maintain profitability, try to match or slightly undercut the averaged vendor prices rather than drastically reducing your listing. The monsters in the Forest of Elements provide approximately the same number of imperfect elements per hour, with the primary limiting factor being the power of your gear and whether you need to manually pick up loot. If you don't have a picking pet, you'll lose some efficiency as you'll need to circle back for drops. However, You can mitigate this by using cooldown times to loot while preparing for the next lure, allowing you to improve your loot per hour. Gear recommendations. Any gear is fine, as elemental farming is more about persistence than raw power. The lower your weapon grade, the more casting and time it will take, but this won't stop you from succeeding. If you're looking to streamline the process, you can obtain a G62 weapon from a level 58 quest near the Tomb Keepers. This quest will appear as an exclamation mark on your map when you become eligible. You can enhance this weapon with up to +4 attack talismans and apply explosive blow with no risk. This setup is beyond sufficient for your needs here. I appreciate you taking the time to absorb this guide's contents. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will respond directly or create a video if it's an in-depth enough question. They'll show you some shop prices and a quick demonstration at the end of this video now, how to turn in your imperfect elements. It's a little strange if you're unfamiliar.